everyone. Welcome to our podcast, Table of Four. I'm Sunny.
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Lena.
I'm Jorge.
And for today's episode, we're going to be talking about relationships. Guys, there it is.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I gotta get the sound effect ready. No, yeah. So relationships, though, I think we're gonna talk about what you are looking for in a relationship. And
Yeah.
I guess for me to start out, I guess I could start it out. For me, I guess it comes to somebody who's kind of like, I guess have the same sense of like, I guess style and like interest as me. I think like someone similar. I think that'd be like a first thing to think about. What about you, Sunny, or anybody who wants to go forward?
Well, for me, I'm not sure. I mean, I had never been in a relationship and really
Okay,
think about
interesting.
relationships
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a lot of the times. So I guess I just want someone who is, open-minded, who is,
Mm-hmm.
a good-hearted person. But they also have to be funny. I feel like that's important for
That's
me.
important. I agree.
Yeah, I feel like they had to have a lot of, I mean, not a lot of humor. Well, actually, maybe they do need a lot of humor. Because like I don't know, I like funny people. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's what I kind of look for. I guess in a person. But wait, but we're talking about relationships though.
Yeah, people are in relationships.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, because like I never been in one, so I just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
go.
Like you're
So
Yeah.
thinking about your ideal person, right?
Yeah.
yeah, so that's why.
Okay,
Yeah. Anyone
Mhm.
okay.
else?
Oh, yeah, I definitely get the whole like humor aspect because like they could be like super good looking and like they could have all these amazing qualities, but like if you can't make me laugh, like I don't want it. I just don't want it.
Right?
I don't want
Period.
it.
I don't
Period.
want it. Period. I don't want it because like and like I laugh at like everything. Like I'm like
Oh,
Cosmo,
same.
when they would be
Mm-hmm.
when they would be like pudding and like he would laugh. Like that's me. Like I
Mm-hmm.
I'm like I laugh at everything. So like if you can't make me laugh, like obviously like there's something wrong. So like I'm not asking for much when I say I'm like, oh, I want them to be funny and stuff. And like obviously I want them to be really nice and preferably like family oriented just because
Mm-hmm.
I'm so close with my
Right.
family. I'm like, if you're close with your family too, like that's great. Like I love that for you. And then, I would like to be a part of their family as well and stuff. So like things like that. What about you, Hori?
I think you guys covered a lot of it, but for me, I'm also looking for someone that, you know, doesn't take themselves too seriously. I think
Mm-hmm.
because I
Mm,
can be a total goof, but I know when to I have a job, I have responsibilities. I know how to be responsible, and like I'm super serious when it comes to certain things. But I love to just have fun and be like, all right, I'm off the clock. I can be a goof, and just have fun,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I
mm.
know like people take things way too seriously sometimes, and I'm like, ah, no, no, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I do enough of that at home, at work. I mean, and I'm like, I can't do this at home. Like I just want to, be chill and all.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's understandable. Because I think for me, oh, here's a question. Do you guys prefer someone who's either attractive or would you guys prefer personality? Because I think for me, um, I wouldn't say that's hard to say because I think as humans, we see a person who we think is attractive, we're like, oh my gosh,
Mhm.
and that's the first thing we see.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you would want to go for someone who's attractive, but then like, I guess for example, say you get to know them and they're like a totally like toxic or bad person, you're like, ah, damn,
Yeah.
and that it's like a, turn off for like mostly like for everybody. But
Mm.
I don't know. I think I would prefer somebody who has a, I guess personality wise, but I guess kind of meet him in the middle ground and just kind of, find someone that I guess like you would find attractive, but also be more mindful about the personality, because I'd
Yeah.
rather have
Mhm.
somebody who is very like like Corey said, like who's like goofy, it's like easygoing, and we can just kind of be kind of goofy together and not really take it things too seriously. And I think being with a person like that, I think is something I would rather prefer than a person who's attractive and they're like super toxic and like always yelling at you or like doing other things that are like like bad for the relationship. So I think someone
Mm,
with a personality is something that I find really important. So yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I it's hard to say like which I would prefer because obviously
yeah,
like if I were to be like, oh, I mean, they have to be like I have to think they're like decent looking, like it makes me like look shallow or something, but like
yeah,
I
Hey,
I
no,
don't
man. It
want to
like
like
there's a certain level, right? Like I don't think that's being
yeah.
shallow. Like you just like you look at someone like, you know what? I have a, you may find them attractive and someone else might not, and that's,
mm,
what we're attracted to, varies from person to person. But
yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
always I'm
preference.
always
Yeah.
a sucker for a girl with like great eyes. Like that's my first like if she has
Ooh.
Ooh,
pretty
okay,
eyes, I'm
Hori,
like
that's a good
oof.
point.
Like oof, I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
Mm.
this girl right here. At least
Ooh,
yeah.
at
ooh,
least,
the fine.
No, I agree because I think which actually brings another point. Like I think for guys, like you said, Hori, I think eyes are a good feature. What about you, Lena? Is there anything like that kind of catches you? Like the first thing you see in a guy, like what's the thing that you notice first? You know,
Hair.
hair. And why hair?
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, because I don't think for guys we don't really notice hair too much unless you do, Hori. I don't know. For me, I notice like the eyes, like you
no.
said.
Or the
Yeah,
girl
Uh,
smile, but yeah.
yeah. Oh, the smile. Yeah, that's another thing I would say.
no, yeah. Me is hair because I love a good like a good head of hair. Like I
Head.
don't know,
Yeah.
a good head of hair just because
She
like
needs to know
I
how to
don't
style.
right like there's like yeah, like if you're gonna have like long hair, like at least make sure like it's nicely styled, like you don't look crazy or whatever, or like if it's short,
Mhm.
like I'm not looking for like perfectly coiffed hair, like that's not it at all,
Ooh,
but it's
wow.
just
Okay.
no, 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 like I don't know, like I just
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
nice hair,
Yeah.
like unfortunately, like sorry to like my fellow bald people out there, but
Sorry
like
to this man.
I was sorry, yeah, sorry to this man. Like but I want to like be able to like run my hands through like their
Oh,
hair,
okay, I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
I can't do that if you look like Vin Diesel, But like
Or
Vin
Vin
Diesel's a
Diesel.
good no, but like Vin Diesel's look really good looking, So like there would be
That's
exceptions.
true.
Oh, like Triple H, like I could smash like
Yeah, yeah,
Triple
yeah.
H.
he could
Look
Like
he
at
could
some
Oh,
that.
he could get it, He could
yeah,
get it,
okay.
what about
But
Pitbull?
Mr.
Pitbull could get it
105?
too. Right,
305?
Mr.
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 305.
Mr. 105. Mr.
Mr.
305, yeah.
Ron.
Mr.
Mr.
Worldwide,
Worldwide.
he could get
Mr.
it too,
Worldwide.
So obviously like there
Alright.
are exceptions, Like so it just yeah, like it just depends. So,
Yeah, that
but
makes
yeah,
sense.
but for
Yeah.
some reason, yeah, my eyes always just go to the hair. But yeah,
Okay.
second is the
Ah.
eyes because
Eyes. Okay.
I love like a good pair of like chocolate brown eyes. Like I love that. But
Ooh,
like
yeah.
my
Same.
like my ex had green eyes, so now whenever I see green eyes, I'm all like, oh well, now I think green eyes look really nice too. So I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm in that little zone of like brown or green. So yeah. What about you, Sunny?
I agree with the the eyes.
Mhm.
'Cause, like, I don't, cause like, it's always I guess because people always, like, make eye contact with people,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? And so for me, I definitely love, like, brown eyes or,
Mm,
like, light brown eyes or hazel eyes. I'm not a fan of
mm,
blue eyes. Like,
mhm.
not to be
Mhm.
mean to blue-eyed people, but you kinda scary sometimes. Like, it's just like, you're just staring deep down to my soul, but not in a romantic way.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
eyes just
Scary
like,
way.
it's just a little bit intimidating. Like, a blue eye,
Mm.
they're just, like, staring like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Alright." You know?
All right.
And I yeah,
Okay.
and so I kind of like, I guess, like, warm tone, like, even guys with, like, brown or, like, black hair, you know what I
Mm,
mean? I'm not really into guys with, like, blonde hair, but then again, I'm also lying because blonde guys are hot too, but, like, I
Mhm.
guess, like,
Yeah.
I would
mm,
say, like, I just prefer guys with like brown hair, but honestly, if you're an attractive blonde man, I don't care either. You know?
Mhm.
But yeah, and also for me, I look at I don't know, this might sound I might sound bad, but like height for
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no,
No,
that's a
no,
good
no.
thing to bring up. No, you're good, you're
like
good.
height.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I mean, like I don't want like a freaking like super like I don't want a skyscraper, right?
Yeah.
But if the guy is like honestly like an inch taller than me, I like notice that already. Because I'm
Yeah.
5'7", but if the guy's like 5'8", 5'9", I'm like, ooh, that's tall.
Oh,
You know?
Oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's all.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like, I feel like I notice height, I don't know. Or, like,
No,
for
no,
me
no.
or for me
Yeah.
sometimes shoulders.
Shoulders. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I love a good back.
I love
A
a
good
good
back.
broad shoulder girl, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It has to be built like an IKEA bookshelf, like, straight, you know?
I want me a big man. I want them to
Man,
lift me
Man.
with no I want a man.
man.
It's like, I
Yeah.
want male.
Yeah, because, like, I'm, like, tiny, like, I'm, like, 5 feet, I don't
Mhm.
weigh a lot, so, like but, like, I can tell immediately, like, if I look at someone and I'm like, "You're not gonna be able to carry me for very long," like, I am a little fair I want people to, like, lift me up and, like, they just
Mhm.
carry me, I wanna be a little
Yeah.
princess in their arms.
Same. No, yeah,
Okay.
I feel like for me, like, I guess, like I mean, like, I guess I do like, I do like a big boy, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is that but it's not like a really a deal breaker if like, they're like not a big boy, you know? Like
Mhm.
if they're like, skinny, but they have like a really like handsome face, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
Mhm.
like, okay, that's fine too.
Okay.
You know? I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like I'm not really picky with, I
Mhm.
guess, appearance. Of course,
Yeah.
appearance matters, but I noticed that like if a guy is like really nice to me or like gives me attention, I'm head over heels.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
I feel it.
he could be like not that attractive, but like if he's like really nice to me and give me attention and like I'm like okay, I kind of have a crush on you, even though you look like a toe, but it's
You
okay.
look like a toe. Oh
A
no.
toe.
You
No.
know?
Oh.
Yeah, I don't really care about appearance. I
Say
mean,
it, Sunny.
everyone does, but it's just, like, for me, like, I guess if they're, like, super nice and they give me attention, I guess, like, the toe face kinda, like, fades away, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
That's I don't know,
Of
I guess
course,
it's
yeah.
just me, And so,
Yeah.
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 I don't
You got people at home looking in the
yeah.
mirror. I'm like, do I have a toe face? Like, what's the
No, yeah.
So what does
No,
that mean? Oh.
but, like, for me, I don't really like the type of guys, like, they're super attractive, like, he's, like, 6'2", like, you know what I mean? He has pretty shoulder, pretty eyes, but, like,
Mhm.
if he's, like, a douche, I don't find that attractive at all.
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
I know
It's
some
a
people do.
personality.
Yeah, I know some people do, like, "Oh my god, he's a bad boy." I'm like, "No, he's not a bad boy, he's a asshole." You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that. It's just not me, you know what I mean?
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, but I do love a really those, like, super nice boys, like, I like they're called, like, golden retriever.
Oh, okay, golden retriever
Mhm.
boys. Yep. Yeah.
Yep, I
That's
like
a first for
those.
me. I don't know what that is.
I love
Oh,
those.
really?
Do you wanna explain, Lena?
Well, golden retriever boys are they're just like the type of energetic, like really happy, like they're just
Oh,
happy
okay,
to see
okay.
you kind of thing,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
things like that. Just yeah, just little like happy people. That's like a golden
Mhm.
retriever type, They're just super cute. You're like, oh, when you see them.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I think what you mean, like, yeah, like the golden retrievers are like usually very super like energetic and they're always
Yeah.
like high energy all the time. Oh, okay, okay. I see what you mean. Kind of
Mhm.
guys like that. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I think you guys mentioned a lot of attributes, I guess, that you find guys attractive. What do you guys think of dad bods? I've heard a lot of that term being thrown in college. When I went to my university, a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, dad bods are like nice," and I'm like, "What's a dad bod?" And I guess it's like I guess a guy with like kind of like a little beer gut, not like super big, but like just a little bit, but I guess like,
Yeah,
and then also
just like
kind
a
of
little
beefy,
belly. Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah.
little
Male
belly
I
and stuff
Hudge.
like
I
that.
love me.
Yeah,
I love me a dad bod for sure.
yeah.
I would take a dad bod over like super like rippling muscles like any
Really
day.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't it's just not my thing. Like it never
Mhm.
has been. Like when 21 Jump Street came out and everyone was like Channing Tatum and I was like I love Jonah Hill.
No, yeah,
He's
Jonah
man.
so
Hill.
cute. I love Jonah Hill. I'm like, cause I thought he was super cute and I thought he was really funny. So I was like, yeah, like that's my type right there. I love
Okay.
that.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, because it's interesting to see. Because I think for guys, I don't know about you, Jorge, but I think for me, I think the ideal body type that I'm either striving for is like not like super ripped, because that's kind of scary in itself, but like like a little muscle, kind of like a fit build. Because I think like was it with a dad bod, I feel like it's hit or miss for certain guys. I don't know, because I feel like a girl's looking for a guy who's like fit, has like not necessarily a six pack, but it's kind of like showing a bit, because it kind of shows like, oh yeah, he's been kind of doing gym stuff, whatever. And I don't know, I feel like striving for that would be like a good goal, but like for a dad bod, I don't know, I never really thought about going for that body type. I guess to get one, you just gotta like I don't know, drink a lot of beer. I don't know, do something to get that little
I
belly,
don't know.
but
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. Yeah, because I
There's
kind of strive for like a six pack thing. I don't know about you, Jorge. I don't know if you think the same way. Feel like you have to be like this big built guy, brolic man, you know?
yeah, I'm a big burly man. No, nah, I could.
Yeah.
For me, like like I said, I'm older than you guys. I'm like I'm done with trying to like be like, oh, I'm gonna get super ripped or So I'm just kind of like
Okay.
finding like a happy medium of like I'm fit
Yeah.
enough, so that I'm not like
Yeah.
dying when I'm climbing up the stairs or something like that. The
Yeah.
struggle, like here I am, like carrying like 6 bags of groceries up the stairs. I'm like, yeah, this is easy, and I'm dying.
I'm
I'm
dying.
dying.
No, yeah. Yeah, because I think like I don't know. I still gotta kind of be, I guess, comfortable with that. With that happy medium, because I think for me, like I don't know, I like to have that improvement, but like I think the only thing I'm struggling with is like I guess being consistent, because I know Sunny always makes fun of me because I bought these weights when I came from college. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use these weights and get ripped, but I before I used to be consistent about it, but now I'm kind of like, I'll get to it like tomorrow, and then tomorrow never comes. I'll get to it next Tuesday, and then
Sitting in
Tuesday
the
never
corner
comes.
collecting dust.
Uh, it's just like it's something I have to get in the groove of. It's weird because I think when I was in university, I had a lot of like I guess spare time, but now since I'm like doing an internship, it's kind of hard to do that and school and all this other stuff. So, but
Mhm.
I don't know. I for me, I feel like am I just making excuses or am I just like doing it? But like I don't know. I think I'll try to find some time, not like maybe even like 15 minutes of like doing a little bit of exercise and that's it. But I don't know.
Mm.
It's just something. It's something that I guess I'm wary of. I guess when looking into a relationship, because I know like for especially for like I guess women, I'm like still like trying to guess. Like I know you guys mentioned all those attributes like height and like the fit and stuff like that and style. I think another thing too I'm trying to think of is like does style also constitute like attractiveness or like something in a relationship? Like do you guys
Yes,
find that important? Yes, honey? Yeah,
for
can you talk
me,
talk
yes.
about it. Yeah. Mention it.
I really love a guy who knows how to dress himself. Like, I mean, he
Hmm.
doesn't like I'm not saying like he like super style fashion icon, like slay the house down boots, but like
Yeah, yeah.
he just needs to know how to dress himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Mm.
I feel like a lot of guys tend to not know how to dress themselves because their mom dressed for them. So
Yeah.
they're like a little lost. And
Yeah.
I just find it, like, really attractive, and also it makes them feel more mature when they know how to dress themselves, when they know what they like, and they know what fits on their bodies and what colors works for them. So
Mm.
I
Mm.
feel like, it's just, like it just makes them more attractive because I guess they're more sure of themselves. You know what I mean? They're
Mm.
more
Okay.
confident in themselves, and so that's why I like guys who dress, really good, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's
So
Mm.
that's
I
crazy,
feel
right? Because like for girls like you guys are like or you guys are like, oh my god, like a guy's dressed all nice. Like me, like a girl could be wearing a trash bag, and I'm like, oh man, look at that, she's rocking that trash bag, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that is too, I guess because maybe men to already um I guess because like women are taught to dress and look pretty, since
Mhm.
since
Yeah.
since since they were little. So I guess
Mhm.
guys just never notice the I guess the time and effort they look like
Mm.
the time and effort they do to look pretty
Mm.
because they kind of already expect it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? That
Yeah.
women are like pretty and they dress up, you know, they look pretty all the time. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But for us girls, like, we don't expect the guy to do that because like they're guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why when a guy does it, it's like, "Oh, that's attractive."
Mhm.
When they dress for themselves and they know how to dress and they know their style and they have style, I feel like that's a more of attractive because, like, we don't expect them to, but
Mhm.
when we do see it, it's like, "Oh, okay, that's good." You know what I
Yeah,
Yeah.
mean?
it's like something different.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And
Okay.
that's
and so
cool.
I
Like
feel like
Yeah.
I
that's
think
why.
like Lena and my dad, he was always a stickler on having our clothes always ironed, right? And now
Mhm.
every night before I go to bed, I'm like ironing my clothes because I know if my dad saw me, he'd be like, "That shirt is wrinkled. Take it off. I need to iron it." And I know Lena, she'd go to school sometimes, and like my dad would be like, "Hey, put that back. I'm gonna go iron it real fast. Put it back. Put it back." So like he always pushed us to dress nicely, and our mom too was like, you never know who you're gonna meet. You never know who you're gonna meet, so
Mhm.
always dress to
Mhm.
impress.
That's
Yeah,
true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I think
yeah.
like for guys, I know because I think girls have more options when they have for dress like style. Like, there's like
Mhm.
accessories, shirts, like I think layers and stuff like that. I think for guys, I don't know if it's part of it because why guys style is so limited. Because I feel like because when I think about like guy style, I always think of like a Forever 21 or like an H&M, and like you walk in, right? And then there's like a bunch of like I guess options for women, like, oh yeah, check out this section, and shoes and stuff like that. And then there's like a little corner over there for guys, and it's like this little tiny corner for like guy clothes. And I think maybe that's why guys are having a hard trouble, like having trouble finding a style. I think it's kind of more like looking for the right, I guess, accessories or like colors or like maybe going for a style that you want to go for. I think Sonny, you explained to me like something called tech wear. That's like a form of style that people go to and stuff like that, which I got to get kind of caught up on the fashion because for me, I'm kind of slow. Because for me, I think I'm the type of person who tries to kind of go out their comfort zone and like try new styles. But I
Mhm.
think I'm really comfortable with like what I wear, like, my good old like jeans and like a shirt and maybe like a nice jacket. And that's kind of it, in summer, kind of
Yeah.
shorts and the thing. I don't really think about it too much. But I know you mentioned when I guess girls see you like, oh yeah, like that guy dresses kind of cool, like, or that guy dresses kind of the same, kind of, it's like weird because I think guys are taught to like um use what they have, I guess, because I think like, for example, like I think a suit, I think wearing a suit you need like navy, khaki, and gray, and I guess you can combine those different colors and kind of have, I think, up to like 52 different like suit combinations and stuff like that, right? I guess you kind of try to mix what you have. But I think now with like guys kind of branching out, I think more guys are like wearing rings and stuff like that. I know some guys paint their nails and stuff like that, which if they're into that, that's totally fine, as a different like way of showing your style. So I think like, so that's something to kind of focus on and stuff like that. And I kind of want to do that same thing for myself. So that way, when I'm looking for like a relationship and stuff like that, I guess having that style kind of gives me that, I guess, I don't know, an extra glance or two if I'm going out and whatever, stuff like that.
Mhm.
That's what I kind of have in mind usually. But
Yeah, cause I think yeah, because, like you were saying, like, oh, like, growing up, I didn't really, like, care about, like,
hmm
style or fashion. I think also cause like, it also has to do with, like, I guess, like, being I guess, like, cause like, it's like a gender thing, like, you're a guy,
hmm
you don't really
yeah.
care about how you look. You mean? Because I remember as a kid, I remember mom used to shop for us, and you know, I noticed that like you didn't really care
Mm,
about what you wear. You know what I mean? You were just a kid, like just looking other places. But
yeah,
I
yeah,
noticed that
yeah,
for me, like I cared about what I want to wear. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
I didn't really like, even at the young age, I just didn't like what mom like picked. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
well, yeah, I guess also because it has to lead because I a boy and
Mm,
I didn't really like boy clothes. And
Yeah.
mm,
so when I would go to the mall or we go shopping for clothes, I would see the girls section and it like would I would love like I was like there's so many cute things I want to wear, And so growing up, like I always I guess liked fashion and how I like present myself. You know what I
Mm,
mean? And I guess because and so that and that's why for you Jonathan, I feel like you didn't really care about it because I feel like a lot of
mhm,
times I guess fashion seen as like kind of a girl thing, and
mhm.
I
mm,
guess that's why you didn't really care about it.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, because I feel like when you're a kid and if something's, like, gendered, like, let's say, like, you growing up, you were, like, a boy, and so
Mhm.
if something was pink or girly, you're like, I can't play with that. That's a girl thing." Or, "I can't be interested in that because that's a girl thing."
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? And so I feel like that's why, a lot of guys don't really care about how they look because of that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so and it's kinda crazy how, like, nowadays it's okay for guys to, I guess, have a style or to dress up more, you know what I mean? Because we're
Mhm.
accepting, which is kind of weird sounding because I feel like guys always should have been stylish and be not afraid to be into whatever,
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
know? And
mm,
so that's why, because I remember, as a kid, I remember I feel like sometimes, those kids, you know, kids or whatever, you
Mhm.
especially, like, the guys, you would always get bullied because, they paint their nails and they have a specific style or, and I remember as a kid, their style was more better than, the typical, popular kids that just wore,
mhm.
like, a t-shirt and shorts from, I don't know, Hollister. And so,
Yeah.
I don't know, I
Oh,
just thought that
Hollister.
I always thought that was weird, you know what I mean? So, but
Yeah.
nowadays, it's more open for guys to be stylish and have a sense of style,
Mm.
so, that's why, Jonathan, you don't, didn't really care about it, now 'cause it's more accepted in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, like, as a kid, but I think now I'm trying to kinda branch out into different styles, because now I'm like, "Oh,
Mhm.
okay, I wanna try these different things out, different accessories and stuff like that." Because I think for guys, I think the relationship, I guess perspective has shifted. Because I know a lot of, like, guys or, like, I think I know a lot of guys who wouldn't, like, date a girl who's tall, right? Or
Mm,
have that
mhm.
preference. But it's weird
Mhm.
because, like, I'm like, well, for me, I'm like, I don't height doesn't matter to me, she could be, like, real tall, and I'm like, "Yo, what's up?" And I just kind of I'm okay with
Hey,
that.
girl.
Yeah, like, it's like, "Hello, my Amazonian tree," something like that. Something like that. I
You love a
wouldn't
short king.
Yeah,
That
yeah, that's another thing,
that's
short
sweet
king,
talk.
that's another
That's
term
sweet
I
talk,
heard.
Jonathan.
Yeah, yeah. I think short king is another term I've heard as well, which I think is,
Yeah.
like I think it's really funny because I think a lot of girls out there who don't mind height, but I know there's a lot of girls who do. It's just kind of like a thing. I don't know. It's like a preference, like you said. So like, 'cause I know
Mhm.
Mhm.
why. I guess why girls find tall guys attractive because like you want to feel like that little spoon. Like you want to feel
Mhm.
that kind of petiteness. Because as a woman, you want to be like, yeah, I want him to pick me up and like I don't know, hold me like really like long time. Kind of just hold me up and I guess that way it shows like strength. I don't know. It's something I'm trying to wrap my head around. But yeah, it's kind of like
Yeah.
essentially that.
Mhm.
Yeah, like, for me, yeah, like, the height doesn't matter to me because, like, I am,
Mhm,
like, 5 feet tall, so, like, them being,
mhm.
like, a couple inches taller than me, I'm all like, "Oh, yeah, you're taller than me." But,
Yeah.
like, I do always end up going for, like, 5'8", like 5'7", like around that area. And like guys that are always like extremely tall, yeah, like skyscrapers, like Sunny said, like
Mhm.
skyscrapers always end up liking me. And I'm like, no, like I cannot date you because I don't want to have to be like looking up at you like the
Yeah.
whole time, like that hurts.
It's like,
Yeah.
I don't wanna get a neck brace just talking to you.
Right? So I'm like, no, like I want them to be, yeah, like shorter and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
I've
a lot of people, or like a lot of guys, are like insecure about that stuff. You know, be girl being taller than them. Because um, I think a lot of girls also. I think I've heard they also like being with tall guys because I think it's just kind of random fact. I think also because like when you're with a short guy and like you say you guys go to an event or something like that, you can't wear like those shoes you like those like high heels and stuff like that because I guess it'll like look bad or weird. You know, I've heard that from different people I've asked about that. It's like, oh yeah, the reason I wouldn't date a short guy is because like I can't wear my cute shoes that I bought from this store and that I want to wear them, but if I wear them, he'll look really tiny compared to me. You know what I mean? Kind of stuff like that. I don't know if that's an issue as well with have dating short guys, but I think it's hilarious. I don't know. It's just fun. I don't know. That's just me. I guess. I mean,
I've
but it makes sense why they're concerned about it.
I've
So
never got a chance to date a girl taller than me. Like I've dated a
same.
girl
Yeah.
like from I've dated girls from like 5 feet to my height like 5'10", but I've never
Hmm.
had a chance to date a taller girl. So it's always like, huh, like it's not that I don't find them attractive. I just haven't had a chance to meet a girl that is taller than me.
Yeah.
That's taller than me, and I'm like, hey, look at her.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Same here. It's weird because like I think when I've dated, I think a lot of my exes they always seem to be blonde hair, blue eyes. I never dated like anyone of my own like culture, like Latino,
Like
which I
girl.
want to, but
Mm,
that's never been like a thing. I've always had that like I guess like type of women that just we've kind of clicked, but like it's weird. I
White
never
girl.
had that. Yeah, like a white girl.
right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well,
But
like that's why I always thought you had like a type because I did notice that yeah, you would always end
mhm.
up like going for yeah, like girls that were yeah, like blonde and blue-eyed, you know?
Yeah,
But I
like Sonny
didn't
said.
know that
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I didn't
Mhm.
know that like it just like you never got the chance to like date someone like outside of that. Like I thought you just had like a specific type because I thought that Sunny also had a specific type. Like I thought you said that you only like yeah like you want a Latino man. You want that
Latino.
Latino heat.
I guess, but like I noticed that like I guess growing up like more and more, I don't think I really have as much anymore. And I mean,
Mm,
it's just whatever. It's just I guess how the guys act.
mm,
You mean I guess it's just I would say it's more personality more than appearance for me.
Hmm.
So I don't really
Yeah.
have a preference when it comes to appearances. You
mm.
mean or like race, you know what I mean? I feel like for me race doesn't really matter.
Mm,
Yeah.
I just thought like, I just thought like, if I just feel like if I married a Latino guy, it would just be easier because like, our family is Latino and so like that family relation is like already like clicking.
mm,
I
mhm,
mean, because I feel
Oh, I
like
see.
if I feel like if I married or like dated like an Asian guy or like an African American guy or even a white guy, like I feel like the family dynamic will be different.
Yeah,
mhm.
like those
And
guys would clash. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, not clash in a bad way. It'll just be like I don't know. I guess like just different. You mean like I
Yeah,
just
Yeah,
different.
like different like traditions and stuff.
yeah,
Mm.
like different traditions. Like like for example, like for us Latinos, like we celebrate Christmas Eve. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah, on
and
the
on
24th.
Christmas Day, we don't do nothing. We're just
Yeah.
chilling. You know what I
Yeah.
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, we're
Chill.
chill.
That's
Yeah.
another
Weekly
day.
chilling.
Yeah, and so but for like, for white people, like, Christmas Eve is nothing for them. They're just chilling too. But on Christmas
Mhm.
Day, they're like, "It's Christmas Day. We're celebrating. We're like
Yeah.
doing the
Yeah.
whole entire dinner and everything." And I'm just like,
Mhm.
"Huh?" You know what I mean? I mean, it's not a deal breaker, but it's just like if things like that, like that's just like, oh, you mean? But, like,
Huh?
I would be down. Like, I wouldn't really care though, like,
Yeah.
if they're a different race, honestly. I mean, I
Mhm.
just thought in my head it would be easier because like, we're both Latino, but
Yeah.
personally, I, like, don't really you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's just like something that I think, like Horace said, like I never had the opportunity to date different like cultures, or I guess like even like a really tall girl, because it's something that
I've
like
dated
never.
different cultures. I've dated girls from different cultures, just not a tall girl.
Well,
Just
wide
not a
over
tall girl.
here.
Mr. Bull,
Yeah.
yeah, Mr. Worldwide over there.
Right. Hey, I like
And how was that, Jorge? Was that different for you, or was there any like Sonny said, like was there any like differences or
Clashes.
clashes you noticed?
yeah, of course, right? Like I said, I dated an Asian girl, and I felt like her parents were like a little more strict, so
Hmm.
she couldn't stay
Mm,
out too late because school or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
mm,
Um, and then like I said, the white girl I dated, her parents didn't care, so like she could be out till super late, and I'm like, it's just the dynamics, right? So
mhm,
Mhm.
like you were like Sunny was saying, like the cultures, right? So it's different, like the expectations for some of their kids, like, oh, their culture allows them to be out later, or they're more strict. But I guess that all varies
mhm.
based on parenting, right? Like that's a whole other
Mhm.
Yeah.
topic. But yeah, like I've dated a few different races. But
Hmm.
yeah, just not a tall girl. Tall girls out
Yeah.
there, come find me. Come find
Right.
me.
Where you at, tall girls? Where you
Where
at?
you
Where you at?
who's looking for a short king?
Short king. Yeah, short king. Yeah, because I think for me, like, it's funny because I think, I mean, like, my height is like I think what 5'7", and I think for
Mm,
me, like, that's kind of tall for me. But I guess like people are like, no, I'm looking for that, 6 foot on Tinder. Like, I might be 5'7", but I'm 6 foot on Tinder,
mhm.
But I think, I don't know, I'm comfortable with my height. I guess like there's definitely tall guys who are like 5'10" or 6 foot, but like for me, I'm just kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna be me. I'm who I am. I'm like, this is what you get. But
Yeah.
it's something that I have to kind of like be aware of because like I think before like especially like oh my gosh in like high school or
Mm,
middle school I was like super insecure about like my height and all that stuff because when you're in middle school and stuff like that you're always like super insecure about everything so like I
mm.
was like damn like man I wish I was taller and all that stuff which like I mean you can't really change it unless like genetics happens to favor you in that moment but I mean you get what you get when you once you kind of grow out of it but like
Mm.
I think I even saw like things on like what Instagram or like on social media where like people have been getting like height surgeries like there's just like height surgeries for guys which is crazy to me because like I think you
That's
spend
crazy.
like I think
Insane.
100K or more to grow like I think a couple or a few inches, which is insane to me because I'm like I don't think I'd ever go that far. I mean, like yeah, I may not be tall and like I may not be at the height I want really, but like I'm not gonna go out my way and be like let me just make myself like a 6 foot like with like my little like I forgot what they do. That I think they like take out like part of your bone and like move it. It's weird. I don't know. It's weird.
Ew.
Yeah, it's a whole
I
thing.
got the ick.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's gross
You
too because I
said
think
bones moving, and I was like, ew.
it's crazy how they do it. I think the guy who did it was like, yeah, I went from five
Yeah.
five
Ooh.
four.
What did he say?
Yeah, right. No, you went from like 5'4" to 5'7". I think I checked the comments of that one, and like one guy, I think one comment was like, imagine paying like 100K for like being 5'7" and short. I'm like, dang, that's mean, but I don't know, kind of true because like I wouldn't pay that much, not for me. That's not a thing I would
Mm.
do. It's something
Is
that's super
there is
crazy.
there a height reduction surgery?
I mean, probably. I feel like it's the same thing. They just take out your little bones and like boom, you're like
Ew.
short. It's
Oh
gross, but
no.
yeah, I
I'm
feel
not
like that's how
seeing.
they do it. But
No, see, and like that's like a whole nother thing of like I like that I think it's really nice that you are okay with like being
yeah,
the height that you are and stuff because then that just means that you're confident. And that's something that a lot of girls look for as well. Like I'm sure guys look
yeah,
for it
Mhm.
too, but like I know for sure
yeah,
that girls, look for someone with confidence because yeah, like you could be like 5'7" or whatever, but like
Mhm.
if you're rocking it and you're not like insecure about it and like making like, oh, I'm so tiny and I wish I
yeah,
was
People
taller and
notice.
blah
People
blah
notice.
blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's the way you carry yourself, and I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And I think, like you said, confidence is like a big thing, I think, in the dating world for sure. And it's weird because,
Confidence is
like,
key.
it is
Confidence is
key. But,
key.
like, I think for like me, my personal experience when I was like dating in high school, I think I was like super not confident. And so whenever I
Mm.
would like go in on dates and stuff like that, I think for me, what went through my mind is like, oh my gosh, like I get like in my head and be like, oh my God, what if I'm like ugly or like what if my hair is like wrong or something? I
Yeah.
don't know, like
Every day.
Right?
yeah, and it's just like
What
something
if am
that
I ugly?
it's something I'm working on for sure. Even like right now, I mean, yeah, I'm confident, but there's some moments where I have that not confident moment where I'm kind of like, oh crap, I'm kind of either doing something new or if I'm meeting someone new, I have that
I'm
like sense of
ugly and
like,
I'm proud.
yeah, like I gotta recite that mantra and be like, you know what, I gotta own it and just kind of like you said, carry it with me, like you said, Lena, because
Mm.
it's something
Mhm.
important. But like I think for a guy, it's like I don't know, it's like difficult, I'd say, because I know some guys out there are like, oh my god, like how do I talk to her and stuff like that, and then some guys would be like, just go up and talk to her, but some guys be
Mhm.
like, no, I'm scared, like
Yeah.
stuff like
Mhm.
that. But I think everyone kind of gets that way. I think I don't know if it's the same for girls. Like, what do girls kind of feel like when they see like a guy? Like, would they walk up to them? Would they like wait or like kind of be subtle about it and be like, oh, like kind of let them know like I'm interested in you? Or like, what do girls kind of do in that situation? I'm always kind of curious.
Hmm.
I feel like when I was, yeah, like in high school, like in middle school, like I would not go up to like any guy. Like it don't
Oh
matter.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I wouldn't do it. But like now, like once I hit college, I was like, I don't care. Like I just
yeah.
randomly got like a little boost of confidence of like, I'm just gonna go up to them. Like, what's the worst they're gonna say? No? Okay, next.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
there's like a million, there's like a billion guys in the world, like one no from a guy is not gonna kill me. So like I might as well
yeah.
just go up to them. So yeah, like I have gone up to guys or um but I never ask for the number though. I will never ask for your number. But
Interesting.
I
Why
will
not? If
because
you
I
don't mind me
feel like
asking.
I will not ask for your number because that's like me. Like me coming up to you is like my initiation. So you need to ask me for my number so that way I know you're feeling
Okay.
the vibe too, you know?
Interesting. Okay.
Got
That's good to
yeah.
know. That's good to know because I think some
Mhm.
guys would be like if a girl walked up to them, they're like, "Oh yeah, like what's up?" and you start talking, they'd probably be like, "Oh my God, like I can't wait for her to ask for my number." Because I think what in their mind is what like I mean, this is what I'd be thinking sometimes back then. I'd be like, "Oh, okay, she's interested in me, so that means like she's probably gonna ask for my number after this conversation, right?" And that's what usually guys think, but from your perspective, like you expect them to ask you, which makes sense because you're the one
Mhm.
who initiated it. So that like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
makes complete sense. And I think for guys, I feel like guys, I mean, sorry guys, I mean, I feel like we're all a little bit dumb at that point because some guys don't get subtle hints, and I could be proud to say I'm the same way. I guess a girl will do something, and they'll be like, "What the hell? Like I did this thing and you didn't notice," and I'm like, "You did?"
Mhm.
I'm like,
Nice. No,
"Shit,
that's
I didn't
true.
know this."
That's true
you
too.
Yeah.
know?
Like I've been to the grocery store and I was just like talking to like randomly. I'm like it's just talking to a girl, and she seemed interested, right? And then I'm like okay, so bye. And then I leave. I check out, and I'm like in my truck and I'm like oh crap! Like I could have got her number probably. Like I was doing pretty good. I'm like
Yeah,
should I go back? No, no, that's just awkward. I wouldn't. No, I can't do that. Well, I missed it.
yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah, because I think for me with like when girls do that or like girls show interest or whatever, I'm kind of taken aback because in my mind I'm thinking like, are we just platonically friends or is she interested? And I think I'm having trouble like finding the difference because like I think a lot of girls will be like, oh, like just because I was nice to you just doesn't mean like it justifies like me being interested in you, right? So like
Mhm.
in my mind, I don't want to make that mistake. Like, oh, she's interested, and I'm like, and if I ask for a number, she'll be like, oh, what? That's weird. Like, I just wanted to say
Yeah.
hi, and it's like I
No,
feel like
but
guys
like
don't want to do that. That's
Sucks.
just
No,
like
that
me. That's
sucks as
like
a
my
yeah, yeah,
guy.
opinion.
yeah. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
this is like very like I'm like being blown away because every guy that I have gone up to like has asked me for my number and then they're like, I'm so glad that you came up to me and like that you came up and talked to me and stuff. Like you stepped up and like you did that initiation. I thought that was really cool. Like,
Mhm.
that's so confident of you. Like, I can't believe you did that, and I'm all like, oh yeah, like it was no big deal, whatever. But yeah, like every time they would give me their number and stuff and like they knew, I guess it's just the way that you do it, I guess. Cause like
Yeah.
it has to be like the setting. Obviously like if you've been friends for a long time and then you're like they're like it seems like they're flirting with you, that's like, oh, you know what, they probably aren't. But like since they were just like always like random guys, like they're like at a bar or they're
Hmm.
at like they were just sitting like outside of like a class or something and then I went up to them. It's like, okay, well, no one is just gonna go up to you randomly or like a girl isn't just gonna randomly come up to you and just start talking to you kind of thing. So
Hmm.
I think
Yeah.
that is why they were able to see that like, oh, like they were able to see that I was interested in them and that I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, do ask me for my number kind of thing, like
Yeah.
I'm not just coming up to be your friend kind of thing. So I think, yeah, I think it's just the way, reading
Yeah.
reading the
It's
room kind of
tough.
thing.
It's tough for guys though. I feel like yeah, things have really changed. Like even a guy approaching a girl nowadays, it's like you have to do it a certain way or else you're the creeper, right? You're creepy. You're being
Mhm.
creepy.
Yeah.
You can't just be
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, hey, blah blah blah, and you're like, okay, no, this you gotta take a step back. So it's like
Mean.
like so for
Men
like
scare
like
me.
you did, Lena, like a girl like initiating the conversation, you're like, oh bam, like that takes away the creep factor. Obviously, if you're a creep, well, you're a creep no
Mhm.
matter what. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but that initial initiation, it's huge for the generation we're in now because like everyone's
Mm.
on high alert now all of a sudden because of just how things are. It's kind of
Mm.
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's definitely something for me that I definitely have to get used to because I think, like
Mm.
Corey said, like, or at least for me too, whenever there's like subtle hints like that, I'd be like, "What?" Like, I'd be like really clueless about it. So then I just have to remember, like, if this thing happens or this thing happens, I just kind of like keep that like as a mental note. Because for me, I'm a
Huh?
bit clueless. Yeah, I'm pretty much because I don't remember. I'm not really like super, I guess, focused on those subtle hints, but it's good to know that I guess like when girls do make moves like that, it's always good to kind of like it's kind of like have a I guess conversation but not really conversating because like if she does something, it's always good to do something back, kind of like
Mm.
giving because it goes both ways.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good thing that I kind of learned today, which it's kind of cool,
Mm.
and I think I was also wondering, Sonny, for you, like, I think, how do you kind of feel with the perspective of guys and stuff like that? How, like, the dynamic could be different, or like, would you rather be approached, or would you rather do the approaching, or like, what do you think?
Mm.
Um, I guess, like, I mean, I don't like talking to a lot of people, so I don't want to approach.
I feel that,
I
yeah.
rather
Nothing wrong
get
with that, yeah.
approached.
Mm.
Um, I remember, I remember this, like this one time where, um, actually, wait, John, you talk. Never mind. Just keep talking. You.
Oh, okay, no, 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 for sure, yeah, because I think for relationships, definitely for me, Um, I want to also talk to about you guys red flags and stuff like that. 'Cause I know like red flags are a thing in relationships and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
buddy.
yeah, because I think like I know everyone has definitely something to say for red flags, as in like like seeing other people's red flags. But like I feel it'd be harder for looking for your own red flags, or maybe easier. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking out here, but um at the same time, like, what would you guys say would be like your, I guess, red flag for you? And I think, I guess to start off for me, like, I feel like I guess I'm super nice. I feel like I'm too nice sometimes, and I feel like that could be part of the reason
Boo.
why. Yeah, like
Oh,
the
That's not a
boo.
good
so
red flag. I'm just so nice.
so we're
No,
calling
but
out.
it's a
Are we
thing
calling
though.
out
I
Yeah.
don't
our
know.
own red
Mm.
flags? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But kind
we're
of
saying
Oh,
just one. Just one.
oh
just
my
one. Yeah,
God,
just
about
one.
ourselves? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
just
I gotta
one.
think of
Yeah.
this. I
Yeah,
gotta think
just
of this.
one.
Okay.
Yeah, no, like while you're
Okay.
thinking where I think for me, like I mentioned, like I'm too nice. And the reason I say
Mhm.
that is because I think as I've been kind of dating like throughout my life, whatever, I think some of my exes were being like, oh, you know what? Like I like we become friends and then I can ask him like, so like what like happened? Like what like if you were cool to talk about it, like what happened? And I think one
Mhm.
of them mentioned like, oh, you were just too nice. And I'm just thinking like,
What?
what does that mean? Like, what do
Right?
you mean? And she's like, well, I don't know, like you were just too nice, and like I feel like maybe like I don't know, you weren't like assertive enough with me, or like you didn't really like I don't know. I don't know. It's weird because like I was thinking
No,
like, what do you mean?
you're right,
Like
John. Like
stuff like
I've
that.
Yeah.
I've gotten that
Yeah.
before. I've gotten that. You're like, oh, like Hora, you're too nice. I'm all like, okay, we're done here. Then I'm gonna. If you think I'm too nice, like I don't know what you want me
Yeah.
to do.
I guess they want me to like I guess not be nice, but like in my head I'm like, how do I do that? Like want me to like
Be
call you
nice.
names or like what? Like it's something but I figured the listeners like we have right, they're probably like, oh well like you like they meant this and that. But like for me, like initially when I heard about that, I was like, well, what does that mean, And like I
See,
think
Mm.
Jonathan, what you have to do is take them to a really expensive date and be like, oh, I forgot my wallet. It's on you.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It could like yeah, if that's what they mean, I guess like when they said assertive, I thought of like okay, so like like going like as far as like go into dates and like when we finish the dinner and stuff like that. I guess when footing the bill, me being the nice guy, like, oh, I'll pay for both of us because like like I'm trying to be nice. I'm the date. I'm interested in you. Like I'm gonna pay for both of us. But I guess some girls are like, no, like I want you to like be like, no, like I guess make me pay or like just to do stuff like that. But I feel like maybe the action of the being like, oh, I paid for my food, you paid for your food, like let's do that. And I guess maybe they want that, I guess, split. I don't know, like equality. I'm kind of like trying to think of what like they can
I'm
mean, but I don't know,
right. I'm trying to think of, yeah, like that too. Maybe what they meant was like you're too nice in the sense of like let's go back to like the dinner thing, like
Mhm.
if they were like, "Oh, you're like, "Oh, let's go to dinner." And they're like, "All right, cool." They're like, "Where do you want to go?" And then you're like, "Oh, you know what? You choose." Like every time you're like, "You choose." I think that maybe that was something, yeah, like they wanted you to be more assertive and like more dominant and being like, you know what?
Okay.
We're gonna go to Applebee's and that's that,
Yeah,
like or,
okay.
like giving them
Okay.
options instead of always being like, let's do whatever you want to do. Let's go do, yeah, like let's go do this, or oh, you want to watch a movie? Let's do whatever, like let's watch what you want to watch, kind of thing. And maybe I think that's what
Oh,
she meant,
okay.
That's
I
just
Okay.
think
something.
yeah,
Oh,
because I feel like maybe because like it makes them seem that they're interested. You
mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
feel like it's like, "Oh, it's whatever you want, whatever you want. We can go whatever you want. Oh, whatever you like." It's like, "Are you not interested in what we're doing right now too?"
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
I
okay.
feel like it'd be better, it could be like it's like, "Oh, what do you" it's like, "Oh, I'm hungry. Where do you wanna go?" It's like, "Let's go to Applebee's." I'm like, "Go to Applebee's."
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you
Yeah.
keep
Mm,
saying whatever you want, I feel like to me they're not interested, you mean, in what we're
okay.
doing, you
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
know?
Yeah. No, I can kind of see what you mean. Yeah, because I think for me, like what you said with the restaurants and stuff like that. I think in my like back then in my head, I'd be like, okay, I'd be like, yeah, where do you want to go? Because I think in
Mm-hmm.
my head, if I like say if I pick something like, oh, let's go to like I don't know, Pollo Loco or whatever, or let's go to like Mongolian barbecue,
Yeah.
and I feel like. Yeah, they'll be like, yeah, sure, that's fine. But I feel like maybe in their head they'll be like, ugh, like why did he choose that place? I hate that kind of food, whatever. But we'll
Yeah.
go, and then she'll have
Mm-hmm.
like a bad time, whatever, and I'll be like, "What happened?" Like, "Oh, like we chose a place that I didn't like." That's what I would kind of think in my scenario in my head. But
Mm-hmm.
what you're saying is to kind of be that assertive, to kind of be like, show them that, hey, you're a man, you got to plan all that stuff, and you got to
Yeah.
like, I guess, plan out the date, which I guess
Mm-hmm.
that makes a lot of sense. Because for me back then, I was just like, I tried to do everything I could to like, I guess, like, make sure that my partner at the time was good and like we were Gucci. But I think like
Mm-hmm.
I guess being too nice is like something that's like one-sided, which I'm kind of seeing now, which makes a lot of sense. And I think I got definitely got to work on that and like being too nice, and I think also having I have trouble saying no a lot too, like, which is like
Yeah.
I like you'll do this and that, and like they'll
Mm,
ask you, but I got to learn how to say no and kind of like
mm.
set boundaries and stuff like that, which I'm still learning to this day because I get into some, part of my French into some crazy shit sometimes, and I'm like, okay, if I just said no, I'd have been like, I'm fine, I could be here and not worry
Mm,
about it. But now I'm in the situation. So
yeah.
I guess that's my red flag. But being too nice. But hey, and I kind of know, like, be assertive. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
gotcha.
who wants to go next with their
With
personal
their red
red flags?
flags.
I guess for me, I'll go, I would say my red flag would be honestly, like, really introvert. Like, I would say,
Um,
like, I'm super introvert. I can not talk to anyone or text anyone for at least, like, weeks, and I feel
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
I feel like it also affects my friendships as well because like, I see my friends talking,
mm,
Hmm.
and I, like and you see me be like, "Oh, Sunny, open message," but I don't respond, but it doesn't mean I'm ignoring you, it's just, like, I just don't feel like talking.
mm,
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know? And so
mm,
I feel like that's one of my red flags is that, like, I feel like if I have a boyfriend, I feel like they're not gonna be like, "Are you not interested in me? You're not talking to me?" And like, no, it's because,
mm.
like, I guess I want my own, like,
Time.
space
Like, yeah,
and
your
Mhm,
time.
space. Gotcha.
But, like, I feel like my type is so bad because, like, we've been like, it's like we haven't talked in weeks, completely fine with it. You know? And that's, like,
mm,
really
Gotcha.
bad. I feel like I should I should, like, stop that, you know what I mean? I
mm,
feel like
Mhm.
I should, like, talk to them and be
mm,
able to talk to them. I feel like it's different if we see each other in person, though. It's weird. I just, like I'd rather we talk in person than in text. Because
Yeah.
I feel like when I'm talking to someone in person, I guess that that person's energy, I guess, can like replenish energy
Hmm.
at the
Mhm.
same time, but also
Yeah.
diminish it it's kind of weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like your
It's
Mhm.
social
weird. Like
battery.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I feel like for text, I feel like there isn't that like energy that I can bounce off to. It's just I'm just seeing words, right? So like I can be, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if I have a boyfriend and like if I have a boyfriend, I feel like we need to see each other in person probably like a lot if we wanna talk. If
Gotcha.
not a lot,
Yeah.
but like every single day. But I would say like I guess like every not once in a while, but like I feel like we just need each other probably like I guess the medium a lot. Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like horrible at like texting and
Yeah, talking to
you
Mm.
know?
people. Yeah.
'Cause it's weird because I do like quality time though. I really like quality time.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I feel like I'm the type of person that's like we don't have to talk. We can just be sitting here watching a movie and you know what I mean? Like I'm fine
Yeah.
Yeah.
with that.
Mm.
And so I feel like just my red flag is just like I'm just an introvert. I'm just really introverted and
Mm.
I I don't want the guy to I don't want the guy to mistake that me ignoring him. I'm not interested. Is just me wanting my own space, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I
Mhm.
guess, like, you're having trouble communicating that, which I think it's good that you're self-aware, 'cause, for me, I'm kinda, like, noticing that in my own kinda stuff, but, like, yeah, like you said, texting is something you not really prefer, but maybe, like, more intimate moments, like calling, like, actually talking to them on the phone or, like, even
Mhm.
better being in person and kind of doing that,
Mhm.
which I think that's a good thing. I mean, like, yeah, like, that at least that way you can kind of know and, like, maybe if you ever do get a significant other, or whoever you're with, you could be like, "Hey, not ignoring you," just kind of hit him up, be like, "Hey, I'm not ignoring you, just I need some time, just letting you know," and then just send it, and then boom.
Yeah,
I think
I
that would
feel
be
like
a good
yeah,
alternative.
I feel like
Mm.
for me, like if I'm dating, I feel like I can't do long distance. I feel like I
Mm.
that type of person, like that type of person I am, it won't work.
Yeah,
Mm.
because you need
Long
that
distance.
person right away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm, okay.
because I'm such a because I'm such a bad texter and you know what I mean. I can't do
Yeah.
this. It will never work for me. And so that's why I feel like I need to have an area or close to my area. I mean, and so we can see each other. You know,
Yeah.
so that's why because I do like quality time. I
Mm.
do.
That's good, yeah.
It's weird because I'm introverted, but quality time. It's weird.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
Yeah.
It's like the
It's like
struggle,
don't
you
talk
know?
to it's like don't talk to me, but still be around me in that type
Yeah.
of
I
way.
I
feel
get
it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
Mhm.
get that, I get that. But, I mean, that's your red flag, At least
Mm.
we're aware of it, same with me,
Thank
aware from mine.
Mhm.
Yeah. But, what about you,
So,
Lena or Jorge? What do you
oh,
guys
no, yeah,
think? You
Right.
guys are red
I'll go
flags?
next.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
for me, I would have to say like I'm still like I feel like I'm pretty confident, but I think when it comes to actually like going on the dates, I tend to hold back some of my personality because I feel like
Mm.
if I really commit to my personality, like I'm pretty sarcastic and it may sound kind of jerky. Like
Yeah.
I'm sarcastic, I'm funny, I like to be goofy, and I don't want them to perceive me as just like this goofy guy, right? Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have
Yeah.
to balance the me being humorous and me being serious. So I
Mhm.
have this inner dialogue, and it comes off as maybe a little standoffish, or I don't know what to say certain times because I'm like, oh, like do I
Mhm.
do I I want to say this one thing because I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Like I'm gonna roast her. It's gonna be great, and we're both gonna be
Hell
laughing. But
yeah.
then I'm all like, nah, I can't do that. So I just like I do that, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, I put myself in certain positions where I'm like, nah, like I should commit, and like I've been working on that. Like I'm building that confidence in myself where I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna be me all the time, and if they
Mm.
can't accept, that this is how I am to start, because this is me real,
Mhm.
then they're not the one for me, right? But that's just
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
something I feel like I'm missing that piece of my confidence and being like, all right, full blast, give my full. obviously, like I'm not
Mm.
gonna just like I said, like if I hit him with my full sarcasm, it's gonna be like a freight train. And he's gonna be
Okay.
like, "Nah, I'm out of here," right?
Yeah.
But like just continue, like just build on my personality and be like, all right, this is me. Take it or leave it. If you don't like it, well, it is what it is. So
Mhm.
yeah.
I think I agree with Hori because I think if I would have trouble being snarky with them. So like I'd be like thinking about like, oh, if I were gonna be kind of like snarky and kind of poke fun at them, I would like think about it first, but then I would hesitate, like, no, I won't make that snarky joke because I don't want them to like get mad at me. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why I probably hesitate a bit,
Mhm.
but yeah. So yeah, no, I'm really excited to hear what you have to say, Lena. You're the last one, so let's see what your red flag is. I'm curious.
So I'm gonna tie it. So I guess I'm saying like two red flags and one.
Okay.
I'll spill more tea about myself.
Okay, yeah.
Um, about like I'm not the type of person to like being spontaneous.
Mhm.
And I really struggle with that. So I like having everything like really organized and stuff. So like if we're gonna go on a date or something, I like having uh just knowing what the plans are, so that I can like plan ahead and like schedule things and everything and knowing what to wear and things like that. And it ties in with the fact that I have anxiety, like really, really bad anxiety.
Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
And so since I am so anxious and like it ties in with like me not liking spontaneous things because when with my anxiety, I like to have everything planned out because that way my mind is at ease. I
Mhm.
know what's to come and like that's it. So when someone is like, "Oh, we're just going to be like spontaneous," or like, "We'll see where like the wind takes us," kind of thing, and I'm
Mhm.
like, "No, I can't do that." I need to have some structure because I can't just like go off the rails. Like that's just not the type
Mhm.
of person that I am. So that's why I feel like that is like a red flag for like anyone that is like looking for someone like I guess more like adventurous. Like I'm just not like that adventurous
Mhm.
type.
Yeah.
Old fashioned lady and I crave structure.
Yeah, you want that structure, yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
Mm.
And also I think you said something spontaneous, so like would you ever be okay if you had like a partner who was like, aware of your like I guess you could say red flag and be like, "Oh, well, we could do this," and like would you be willing to be spontaneous or like not like right away but kind of build up to being spontaneous? Or what do you think about that, Lena?
Yeah, I think I could end up being like I could build up to like being more spontaneous and like I
Mhm.
am like already like trying to be more spontaneous.
Yeah.
But it is just something that's gonna like take time for me to like really like be like okay, like to fully be okay with it and like not be so tense because like yeah, like I can go and do spontaneous things, but like I like you can just tell like it's odd, like it's written on my face. Like I just have one of those
Yeah.
faces that like
Right.
if I'm mad, like you can tell that I'm mad. If I'm sad, you can tell that I'm sad. So like if
Yeah.
we're doing something like spontaneous, like you can already tell like I look tense, like I'm not enjoying
Mm.
myself.
Gotcha.
So like
Gotcha.
I could be more spontaneous, but like it's gonna take me a while to like get more comfortable like actually doing it.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
yeah, like I am more open to it, but yeah, I'm just like I'm just gonna be like nervous the whole time and like just tense.
Yeah.
Like I won't be able to relax because I'm not gonna know like what's coming next kind of thing. But yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's normal, yeah, because like I know our red flags kind of reflect on some of the things we need to work on and stuff like that, or like I guess we have
Mm,
trouble on. But and it's understandable being uncomfortable. But I think as we kind of hopefully progress through the relationships, I think we can, I guess, since we're aware of it, we can hopefully work on it. 'Cause I know for me, yeah, I have to work on
mm,
definitely like my red flag and everything. But I think that comes with time. That all just comes
yeah.
with time. And I think once we
Hmm.
meet that person, it could be the one, it could be like maybe a person we're going to be with for like 3 months. It depends. But once we
Hmm.
meet that person, I think we'll kind of start thinking about what changes we can make. And maybe we'll just feel comfortable at that point. And I think it'll be a different type of like relationship. You know what I mean? It's kind of like
Yeah.
you just feel it. So I think
Mm,
hopefully that
Yeah.
when that time comes, we all kind of get that feeling. So
mm,
per se.
mm.
But Yeah, no. I'm glad to hear. I'm glad we talked about our red flags and kind of. I learned a lot about relationships like, with your guys' perspective. So I think it's really cool. We kind of talked about it and touched on different bases and different topics. Because for me, I'm pretty much clueless in this department sometimes. But knowing some of the stuff you guys went through and kind of like your insights about it, I think it's pretty cool. I learned different perspectives today, and it was kind of nice. It's cool.
Yeah, and it was really nice to see, like, this is just like the start of us talking about relationships, like we're gonna obviously like delve into it more, like talking about like our crazy dating stories or just like our bad relationship stories, like things
Yeah.
like that. So this is just like part one of the whole like relationships topic. Like this was just the start of it. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about relationships and stuff, with our little group.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think to all the listeners out there, I mean, if you guys are super interested into like relationships or like even intrigued like me, I'm super intrigued into how that stuff works. Let us know in the
Mhm.
comments what you guys want to like specifically talk about or like if or like let us know what you found interesting and kind of just I don't know, give us some feedback and what we kind of said today. Maybe kind of share your own experiences in the comments, just kind of just throw it out there, We're all human. We
Mhm.
all make different mistakes. We all learn from them. So it'd be
Mhm.
kind of nice to see what's up. So yeah. It's been nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah.
I think that is it for today, guys. So if you guys like this podcast, remember to keep on listening. And also remember to check our socials. Also you can check our individual socials as well. And also check out our latest podcast too, from before. And I guess that is it for today, everybody. Want to say
Yeah.
bye?
Yeah, it was a good podcast.
It was a
Bye,
good
guys.
podcast. Bye.
Shark Kings rise up. Let's
Bye.
go.
Bye.